Hello and welcome back to another iRacing video. Today we are on a new course. You guys haven't seen it yet. Laguna Seca, also known as WeatherTech, I believe. Today we're actually starting from the pit lane. I decided to not qualify, start from the back of the grid in the pit lane, and see how we could do. Turned out to be a fairly good race. It's fairly exciting, lots of overtaking, some action in there, and a pretty decent finish. If you guys saw my post on Instagram, you would know that we actually finished 4th in this race, despite starting from the back of the grid. So starting off at this point, just trying to keep it clean, trying to have a nice clean race, no incident points, or as few as I can get. We managed to pass this guy very easily as he's having some tire trouble. Looks like he got caught up in a bit of a collision at the beginning of the race, and at this point, just really trying to catch up to the pack and keep it nice and steady, nice and smooth through the corners. I've raced quite a bit here actually in the last few days. Lots of practice racing, lots of practice rounds themselves, and just wanted to really get a good race in. So going into what's called the little corkscrew, this was a very tricky turn because you don't actually see, you crest the hill, you see the turn there, but you don't see where you're dropping off until you actually make that turn. Very tough to get right. So there are a lot of little points you can look for, little braking points, points of aim, where to aim your car at to make that a lot easier. So finishing lap 1, very smooth, very clean, very few people to pass, and despite that one guy, he was having car trouble, so it wasn't really his fault. Really coming through strong into lap 2, starting to catch up to the pack. You can see some of the guys ahead of me. Turn 3, technically this is, it's a very hard, either you can turn it into a double apex or you can try to just do a very long left-handed turn. I tried to make it that double apex, tried to take it a little bit deeper and then take a little bit of a smoother run through the exit. Then what I was trying to do the majority of this race was use the track limits as much as I could, exploit them as much as I could, push to the very edge of the track, try to really test the limits. Really helped out actually. It really helped take a few hundredths of a second off here, there, tenths of seconds. Really anything I could do to try to improve my lap times and catch up to this pack. This is a little bit of a tricky corner too because it dips down right where you go. You can see the car basically take a huge dip to the left. If you overshoot that or take it too fast, you're going to go way off and run the track limits really wide to the right, which is what I tried to avoid the entire race. Managed to keep it pretty clean. A lot of people try to run it without tapping the brakes, or they'll be full on the gas the entire time, and really doesn't work out for them. So I tried to take it nice and easy, try to be safe, trying to take as much time as I can. I wasn't really concerned about where I finished in this race. Yes, it's nice to have a higher place finish. I run really late into this corner here too. Really late braking point. Did mean to do that. I meant to brake about 100 meters sooner, but kind of got caught up trying to pass the guy ahead of me. Got really excited and wanted to try to get ahead of him there, but didn't work out. He gets passed anyway. He runs really wide through turn 3 there and gives me a lot more time. Now we get flex tape coming out in front of us. Can't remember his name actually, what the driver's name was, but in this video we're just going to refer to him as flex tape. He comes out of the pits. He must have had to change tires or have a bit of an issue. I'm not sure what happened, but he comes out right in front of us. So we're in a bit of a 4-car train here. He manages to really take a good line into, or coming out of this turn here. He manages to go to the outside of the guy ahead of me. Easily passes him, and coming into that little, he tried to pass him, I guess. I managed to get by him pretty quickly. He took a really wide line through that turn. Like I said earlier, that's where you're going to run into issues. Coming into the corkscrew, no problem. he was trying to be a little bit on the safer side of things as well. The guy ahead of me really playing really defensive, trying to keep me behind him, but ultimately coming into the final turn before the main straight, I go for a big dive bomb up the inside here. He tries to cut in on me, and we ended up making a bit of contact. Nothing major. I picked up a penalty point for that, or an incident point is what it's called here, and managed to make my way up into, I believe at this point I was in 3rd place. So I was going strong here. This is going to be one of my better races. I hadn't had a podium finish in a very long time, since one of my first videos actually that I put up. But ultimately this is actually one of my cleanest races, because after this race I managed to move out of the rookie class. My safety rating went high enough. It went to actually, I believe, up to a 3.44, and all you need is a 3.00 to be promoted to the next license or be awarded your next license, which is Class D. I'm now actually in Class D, so my next few videos that I do post will be more Formula Series strong, I guess, or oriented. I have had a couple of Formula Renault races, Formula Renault 2.0. There's also the iRacing 0.4 or 04 series, as well as there's the USF 2000, I believe it is. They are all like a Formula Series open wheel car series. So you'll get to see a little bit more of those in the coming days and weeks, as that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Those are where my strong suits and where my interests really lie. I'm a big Formula 1 fan, if you guys don't know. But yeah, that's where you guys will get to see and look forward to seeing. I run really wide into this corner again, really messed it up, and Flex Tape overtakes me, and he moves back into 3rd place. I drop back down into 4th. I was a little upset. I really wasn't paying attention. I kind of got a little focused on him being behind me, and really tried to play defensive, tried to break late, but stuff happens. And he moved back down a spot in the grid, but still happy being in 4th place, and did the best I can to catch up to him, but I just didn't have the exits and entrance speeds that I wanted. He manages to pull away after a little while. Going into that corkscrew actually again on this lap, he really starts to pull away. I don't take the corkscrew as clean as I wanted to, so he ultimately starts gaining time, pulls away, and yeah, basically puts me out of reach of 3rd place. At this point, really just trying to keep it clean. Like I said, wanted to get my safety rating up, wanted to move out of rookie class. I've been in a rookie class for a couple weeks, a little bit longer than I had intended. I would have loved to have moved out of rookie way sooner and make some more exciting videos for you guys. Not that these aren't exciting, in my opinion, but just to get a little bit more variety of races, just because all you've seen is Formula V and the Mazda RX-5 series. So whatever I can do to make it a better experience and more exciting for you guys, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I wanted to move out of rookie and move into something that gives me a little bit more opportunity to race different classes, different series, things like that. And that's what ultimately happened. This race did that. It was a fairly clean race, and I'm very happy for that. So at this point we're moving into the middle stages of the race. Flex Tape got a little aggressive and took out the 2 cones there. Not sure what they ever did to him, but I tried to make that double apex here really tight and try to get the best time I can, but the 2 ahead of me are kind of in a bit of a dogfight right now, so I'm gonna let them do their thing and let them take care of each other. If one takes each other out, let them do it. Don't get caught up in another 2 drivers conflict and end up taking yourself out of the race, or maybe the 3 of you. Keep your own line, keep your head, let them battle it out, and maybe eventually, if one takes each other out or they make a mistake and they make contact, anything like that, it might give you a better opportunity to overtake or move into a higher position. So coming up to the corkscrew again, this is where I don't really take it as cleanly as I wanted. They try to battle it out again. I take it a little wide and a little bit slower. Kind of got on the brakes a little bit late and ultimately had to slow down. So Flex Tape ends up passing the guy ahead. He starts pulling away, and yeah, I move out of the third place reach yet again. Coming into the main straight again, managed to take that very cleanly this time. Just didn't really have the exit speed to catch up to the guys ahead of me. This is coming into the really good parts of the race now. I'm actually going to move up again in position. This guy ahead of me here, I'm actually going to overtake him coming into one of the major turns here. I believe this actually puts me up into 4th now. I've mistaken. I was in 5th before, and then when the Flex Tape overtook me. But now I'm going to move up into 4th here. Really close. I braked super late going into that. I kind of got a little scared actually trying to brake super late, but he really started to brake super early, which made it a lot easier for me to get by him. Now, super clean through the rest of it. We're actually going to transition to a little bit later in the race here very shortly, and just because the next few laps are literally me just gaining time, he kind of runs off the track, and that gives me a huge window just to be clean and be safe and just get my best times. We're going to move a little bit later into the race here, as I said. Not a whole lot went on, just me running laps, trying to get good lap times, trying to get the fastest lap. But really, super safe race, other than the little contact I had to move up. But that stuff happens. Ran a little bit wide on the exit there. Didn't really know what I was doing at that point. I kind of just wanted to get this race over with. At this point, I was super excited that I was going to have a decent finish and that it was going to be a fairly clean race. So here, coming into the last straight here, this is actually the end of the race. This is my last lap. Coming in, you'll see that guy's waving the checkered flag up there. The guy ahead of me slows right down and exit right out of the race. Thank God I saw him at the last second. But we're going to take a little bit of a cool down lap here and just take it easy, cruise around the track. I still carried a little bit of speed, but nothing I really had to push for. Just really happy with this race. I'm actually getting to like this course now. I absolutely hated it the first few times that I ran it, but I guess the more you do it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, ultimately, you might like it more, because you might actually start doing good and doing better than you were at the beginning. The other thing too now is because I'm not running with a racing line, practice sessions actually do mean quite a bit, and they do have a lot of benefit now. Whereas before, when all I did was just use the racing line, relied on the racing line to know where I had to turn in, where braking points were, stuff like that, really made it an easier experience, but not as authentic. This one I actually have to do practice sessions when I'm on a new course and I haven't raced it before. Practice is a lot better because you can learn the braking points, you learn how your car handles, and you learn how your car ultimately does on that track and where you can have points to make up times, which is really important, which is why I'm glad I'm actually doing it this way now, not like I used to do where I had the racing line and just kind of relied on that. But wrapping things up, guys, super clean race, super easy finish, really glad with where we came in here. We're going to pull into the pits to finish it off, but once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Always appreciate it. If you want to, go down to the comment section, leave a comment on what you thought of the race. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Tune into my Instagram. There will always be posts up there for when a new post goes up. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Stay classy, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.